Well, good morning to you. It's Thursday, August the 6th. This is Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis. We've got a great show lined up for the next 30 minutes. Before we get to our guests, I want to jump on over to the other side of town with our co-host, Brittany Pacheco. Good morning to you, Brittany. Are you feeling better today?
Good morning, Todd. Not 100%, but I've got my tea. I'm going to power through today's Up to the Minute, hopefully without coughing too much. But I'm here. We're going to, like I said, power through it. So thank you to everyone joining us on this morning's Up to the Minute live on Facebook. Be sure to like us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Head over to our YouTube where we have thousands of videos at your disposal. Hit that notification bell also so you can be the first to find out the latest from HCC. And last but certainly not least, please be sure to share this podcast so that we can not only share this information, but also grow our audience.
That's right, Brittany. And Brittany, we talked about this yesterday. I know you were excited, and I know our director, Nathan's fascinated by it. But did you know we have a National Museum of Funeral History right here in Houston?
I did know, and we were talking with our guest just before the show started. I know I've seen it before, but I've never actually gone into the museum because it's really not, in my forte of interest. However, after listening to our director, Nathan, fascination with the museum, I'm kind of now interested in going.
It's very cool. It's been a while since I've been there, but I'm definitely going to get back again. We've got Genevieve Keeney joining us, and you're the CEO of the National Museum of Funeral History. Good morning to you, Genevieve.
Good morning, Todd. Thanks for having me this morning.
Well, we're looking forward to our discussion. We've got several of us that our interest is piqued, and it's Thursday Virtual Family Fun. We'll be back with you shortly to talk more about the museum.
Great.
All right, we're going to start now first talking about our Material Science Center of Excellence. We've got the Dean, Alberto Urbina, joining us again this morning. Welcome back to the show, Alberto.
Thanks for having me, Todd. Good morning.
We're talking about the Material Science Center of Excellence. And for people who may not know what all that involves, it's more than just welding. Tell us about your other offerings.
Yeah, so the Material Science Center of Excellence at Houston Community College consists of our welding program, our pipe fitting and pipe fabrication, our sheet metal technician program, and also the welding inspection program that we have.
You know, you keep hearing over and over about a need for welders in Houston and around the country. Is that still the case? And are there jobs out there even during the time of COVID?
Yeah, absolutely. The industrial construction and the commercial construction, which are the two main fields that hire welders, pipe fitters, sheet metal technicians, and inspectors, they still have a lot of projects going on down here in Southeast Texas and really throughout Texas as a whole. There's pipelines that are still being run. There's facilities that are still being maintained. There's new construction also taking place. So because of all of that, there's still a need for craft professionals within Southeast Texas, but also within the greater state as well.
And I understand you guys also have a new associate's degree, and obviously there are various forms or certifications you can get for welding, but you've got a new associate's degree as well for it?
Yeah, absolutely. We're very excited to be able to kick off the Associate of Applied Science degree in Welding Technology this fall 2020 semester. Prior to that, the department offered two certifications. We had a structural welding certificate, which was a total of 5 courses, and students can complete within a 4-month period. We also have a combination pipe welding certificate, which is a total of 9 courses that students can complete between 9 and 12 months. And then the associate's degree kind of takes all of those welding courses. There's a few academic courses that are included, and then students would be able to earn their 2-year associate's degree in welding technology. So we're very, very excited to be able to kick that off this fall semester. That's going to be a great opportunity for our current students, for former students to be able to come back, but also for those new students that are starting the program as well.
Now, I know we're all delivering an education virtually, at least for the first 6 weeks during the fall semester. But when we do get back eventually on campuses, I know your students are going to be really grateful to get back there because that's a big part of completing their program. But we've got locations across the district. Here's something that's really cool. I know you guys have a new location that's about to open and gallery furniture is involved.
Yes, absolutely. So this is going to be at the Gallery Furniture location off of 45 North in Parker. And Gallery Furniture has a partnership with Houston Community College to be able to offer workforce classes at their location. So they're actually in the final stages of doing some remodeling to part of the building over there. And the programs that are going to be included are welding, pipe fitting, residential construction, and electrical technology as well. So students in that community will be able to participate in those, whether they're adults or whether they're high school students, because they're also starting up a charter high school up there as well.
That's amazing. Mac does Mattress Mac. Jim McInvale does so much for this community, and I'm so glad that we're partnering with him for this. Really, I venture to say I don't think there's a gallery or a furniture store across the country that's partnering with a community college for college classes. This has got to be a first.
Absolutely, yeah. From my perspective, it is a first. I haven't heard of any other business to do this, especially a furniture business. So we're very excited to be able to partner with them and be able to extend the opportunity to the community up there on the north side of Houston.
Alberto, let's talk about how things have been going since COVID hit, because we left for the spring break. We never returned to the campuses, started the instruction online. How did that work for your students? And are some of your students allowed to get back in right now in a limited fashion to finish up that spring semester?
Yes. So the last day that we had any spring classes was actually on March the 13th, which was a Friday. And I'm always kind of cautious about Friday the 13th, but that was a Friday the 13th. That was the last day that we had any face-to-face classes. And since then, up until just recently, the courses have been virtually. We've been having kind of traditional online classes. We've been having virtual classes as well. But here recently, certain classes at certain campuses for those students that need courses to graduate, they have been able to return on a limited capacity to be able to complete their spring 2020 courses so that they're able to graduate. So hopefully we're able to start with those students that need courses to graduate, and possibly in the future be able to expand to some of the other students that took classes back in the spring 2020 semester.
But one way or another, you guys are ready for online instruction come August 24th, like the rest of us, when classes resume.
Absolutely. The faculty and I have been working. We've been doing a lot of training. We've been doing a lot of just kind of dry runs using Canvas, using different softwares to be able to meet with students virtually, very similar to what we're doing right now. We've been working with our industry partners like Miller Electric to be able to tap into some of the resources that they have. Same thing with Lincoln Electric, being able to partner with them to tap into the resources that they have to be able to extend the learning into a virtual environment, even though for the time being, we may not be able to get that electrode holder or that MIG gun into students' hands.
Some exciting things going on in welding, and it's always good to know Houston is a hot spot for construction. A lot of construction, a lot more welders are needed, and HCC is there to train the next generation of welders. Alberto Urbina, thanks for joining us here on Up to the Minute this morning. We look forward to seeing you again in the future.
All right. Thanks for having me, Todd. It was a pleasure.
Good luck in the fall.
Thank you.
All right, so it is Thursdays. It's Thursdays' virtual family fun day around here at Up to the Minute. We've been featuring museums across the country, many here in the Houston area, and today is no exception. We've got Genevieve Keeney joining us right now. And Genevieve, you're the CEO of the National Museum of Funeral History, and you're located here in Houston.
Yes, I've tried really, really hard to get this secret out. I've been working on it for about 10 years now, ever since I've been with the museum now for over 13 years. But it's really a fascinating place. And it really, truly is a family-oriented place. A lot of people, when they read the name, they get a little, set off by it a little scared perhaps. But that famous saying, don't judge a book by its cover. Well, definitely don't judge us by our name. So.
That's right. Yeah, I was telling you earlier in my news days, I did get a chance to go out there and do a story, and it was about 20 years ago. And I was fascinated by everything inside the museum. I know you guys were founded in 1992. You've been around for a while, and you got a huge facility. That's one thing I noticed when I went in. I'm like, wow, there's a lot of room here, a lot of exhibits, things people may not know they had in the Houston area. But you start talking about funerals in your museum going back to the Egyptian times.
Yeah, and you use that term "wow." I have to tell you that is the most used term from visitors that come in because they really don't know what to expect. They're already going to go in their preconceived notion because it's about funerals that we're going to learn all about death, and death is definitely a part of life. It's in our everyday life. But when you actually go into that museum, you're just completely taken aback because you really don't know what to expect. And it's much larger than you'd ever imagine.
Yeah, it certainly is. 30,500 square feet. And I understand you guys have 14 permanent exhibits, and then you have other exhibits which are kind of rotating, going in and out of there. Maybe you can tell us about some of the ones you have ongoing now.
Right now, the ongoing exhibition that we have is Icons in Ash. And that's a very fascinating exhibition for people who want to have the non-traditional memorialization of their loved one with their ashes. They actually take the ashes and create a portrait out of them. And my sister's actually featured in there. My sister was cremated. And as we all know, grief is a process, and grief lasts for many, many years. I don't think it'll ever dissipate, but it does get a little easier. And when I was working on the history of cremation exhibition, it was a wonderful opportunity to kind of bring my sister's memory back into my life, if you will. And I met an amazing artist, Haida Hatry, in New York. And she has this amazing talent to use beeswax as the medium and to incorporate the ashes of your loved one and create a lifelong portrait out of them. And it's something that you can pass on generation to generation. And 3 generations from now, you'll know who that great grandparent was, or that great aunt. And it's a wonderful thing. It's beautiful. For some people, they're going to think it's morbid, and I can completely respect that. We all have our own opinions about death, but this is truly a work of art.
Let's talk about the presidential funeral exhibit you have going on right now with George H.W. Bush passing away not that long ago.
Yeah, that's a fascinating exhibition that was curated by our chairman, Mr. Bedeker. He did a fabulous job. He also was the funeral director to the George H.W. Bush. And it was just anyone in Houston, was pretty much part of that event that day, going all the way to College Station. And if you weren't able to capture any part of it, you can come into the museum and actually get to see it again, kind of unfold through the video that we have, as well as through many of the actual artifacts that were at his funeral.
You also pay tribute to famous stars who have passed away with the Thanks for the Memories exhibition.
Yes, the Thanks for the Memories exhibition is really a fun exhibition. It's got something for everybody. And, we have 2 exhibitions that I think that the children can really gravitate to. And Thanks for the Memories is definitely one of them. We have this really unique replica of Snow White's casket on display. It's all glass. And the 7 dwarfs are, obviously, in presence on the wall. And we talk about the wonderful famous animals, that have been in the movies throughout time as well. But there's just something for everybody in there. You'd be fascinated by who the creator of Doritos is. When I had his memorial folder and I was putting it into the exhibition, I was like, who is this gentleman and what's his significant contribution to us in life? And I said, oh, wow, he created Doritos? Wow, that's pretty cool. So you'd be surprised going into that exhibition of what these people did for us and the legacy that they left, and how their inventions or their contributions to us continue on inspiring our lives even today.
The creator of Doritos, I think, deserves a national holiday, in my opinion.
Right.
I mean, not too many people can create Doritos.
Yeah.
Those are good things. Also, you do feature many cultural exhibitions with cultural traditions surrounding funerals.
Yeah, and I think, being in Houston, we're such a diverse city that I think the museum helps to really play into that diversity that we have here, because within death, there's different culture and ritual happenings that go on, and again, it kind of goes back to where you came from originally. A funeral is a rite of passage, if you will, and so there's a lot of different customs and rituals that have to be performed for that family or that individual based on their heritage, if you will. And so we have this international hall that features different cultures. We have the awesome Ghana coffins from Ghana, West Africa. They look like pieces of art. So you can see the tiger, and you can see a chicken, and you can see an onion farmer. So it's really, really fascinating to see that these are actual coffins that people are actually buried in. But really fascinating to see what people do in different parts of the world.
Well, I want to encourage people to visit your website. I know you guys, did you have to close down for a while, obviously, and when did you reopen?
Yeah, we did have to close down. We were closed down for almost 6 weeks in the beginning. Right. And then we did have a small concern. I actually got COVID myself.
Wow.
And so we had some concern, and for the safety of my staff and the visitors, we closed for another week, kind of like what they're calling the second round, if you will. But we're back open. Everyone's been tested. I haven't been at the museum for almost 5 weeks now. Just for the safety precautions, I'm now tested negative, thankfully. But we're back open, and we've been open. So total COVID, we've been closed for 6 weeks. But our facility is so big that it really gives the opportunity for people to come in and focus on something, enjoy something, and always being able to maintain social distance because we're such a big facility.
Well, I was going to say, with 30,500 square feet, you've got a lot of room to social distance, folks. And
definitely.
I'll encourage people to visit your website because it's NMFH.org. We've got that in our social media post as well for this show. But you're going to be amazed because you're going to think, well, Museum of Natural Funeral History, I don't know. But go to the website, check it out. You will definitely want to go, and you will not be disappointed. So you guys are one of the hidden treasures in Houston. I know you've been trying to get the word out, and we're very pleased to be able to meet with you and help share that word today.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys having me on the show.
Absolutely. Genevieve, we appreciate you being here. And, we look forward to seeing you out there at the museum sooner rather than later.
Great. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Bye.
Have a good day.
Thanks.
All right, we're going to move on over to Brittany Pacheco, and I'm going to put that museum on my list to get out to in the next couple of months, Brittany. It really is a cool museum. When I did the story in news, I was thinking, oh boy, they're going to send me out to another museum, but it was very cool. You won't be disappointed. Certainly was worth visiting.
Yeah, it sounds really, really cool. I was checking out, of course, the stills that we have of what the space looks like and the exhibitions and what have you. They have the Willy Wonka hat too on display, worn by Gene Wilder, of course. And, I want to find out the story behind that, why that specifically is there. So definitely on my bucket list to see. I mean, I don't know what other place may have a funeral history museum, but the fact that it's unique here in Houston, need to check
There's so many things you're going to get out there and you're going to go, this is here. This is so totally cool. So you won't be disappointed. You also won't be disappointed with all the services we're offering here at HCC online, available all the time for you. Our student virtual lobby, they've got a few changes over there, Brittany, but it's in essence, it's better for our students because we're offering a lot of help for them. That's
right. So student services has live enrollment and advising help available through the virtual lobby, which, we've obviously been promoting since the very beginning when it first launched. But now you can reach all of student services through live virtual support on Zoom. Again, live virtual support on Zoom. There's also a callback request and email. So no appointment will be necessary, excuse me, and the extended hours of support are Monday through Thursday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., Friday from 8 a.m. to 5, and Saturdays 9 a.m. to 1. So if you're interested in this, head over to hccs.edu/virtual lobby.
You know, talent engagement sets a return to campus training session that everyone, all student, all faculty and staff need to take this before we return to classes. And I can tell you, your deadline to take this is August the 31st. So it's a few weeks away, but we're reminding everyone that sooner or later we'll be back in face-to-face settings, and talent engagement is HCC faculty and staff required to complete this mandatory training. It's due by August 31st, as I mentioned. Check your email for talent engagement news for the training link to access the course. If you have any further questions, you can go to employee, that's emp.onlinelearning@hccs.edu. They'll answer your questions there as well. Brittany, we got some dates for the fall schedule, 3 in particular that everyone needs to be aware of. Now, keep in mind, August 24th, our classes for the fall semester begin on that day, but all classes will meet remotely for the first 6 weeks.
That's correct. And let me emphasize what we mean by all classes, because there was a little confusion before in regards to the Flex Campus and lab-based courses. So all of these courses that are meeting remotely do include the Flex Campus and lab-based courses. So there will be an online component for you all who are enrolled in these specific courses to take for the first 6 weeks. Faculty will report to campus for in-person classes beginning September 28th. And then the following week, in-person courses will begin for the Flex Campus and lab-based. But again, all classes, including Flex Campus, lab-based, and the 2 online options will begin remotely for the first 6 weeks.
That's right. So those 3 dates, you'll see them in our social media as well. August 24th, September 28th, and then in-person Flex Campus lab-based courses begin in the in-person sections October the 5th. So keep those dates in mind. You'll hear more about this as we move into the fall semester as well. COVID testing, big thing here in Houston. We still need it, and there's still a demand, and HCC has 4 campuses set up for COVID testing. Now, no appointment are required at the 2 southeast locations, Brittany, and those are the Felix Fraga campus at 301 North Drennan Street and the East Side campus at 6815 Rustic. Other sites have extended their hours to close later. Now, the first ones I mentioned, they're open Mondays through Fridays from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. The other ones, extended hours, but you need appointments.
That's correct. So the other 2 locations are at our Northeast campus, which is 555 Community College Drive, and our South campus, which is 1990 Airport Boulevard. Now, both those locations are open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. So those are the extended hours that we're referring to. The catch, you do need an appointment. This is required. Don't try to go if you don't have an appointment, because we don't want you to be turned away. So for appointments, be sure to call 512-883-2400. Again, Northeast Campus and South Campus require appointments. Be sure to check out the graphic that we're showing on our feed right now, as well as our social media platforms.
HCC faculty and staff, listen up. Virtual coffee breaks. One of them happens today. Join Janet May and her guests as they learn how to adapt to the remote work and get answers to some of your frequently asked questions. Today's guest is Timur Sever, who is the Dean of Mathematics. That's today, Thursday, August the 6th at 11 a.m. So after this show, you can jump on there, grab yourself a cup of coffee, and join Janet May. Have your questions ready, or just simply listen in. Weekly enrollment information sessions. If you're attending classes in the fall, Brittany, you need to go to one of these.
That is very true, Todd. And I love the fact that enrollment services has shifted, what they do obviously on campus to virtual. That way we can still help as many students and incoming students as possible. So if you're interested in attending one of these information sessions, the next session is next Tuesday, August the 11th at 10 a.m. So if you need help with admissions, testing, orientation, financial aid, and a lot more, because let's face it, there's a lot. Be sure to head over to hccs.edu/informationsessions to register and find out dates for future sessions if, for whatever reason, next Tuesday is not going to work out for you.
That's right. So keep that in mind. I don't see anything from Rec Sports yet, but I'm sure they're going to be ramping up pretty soon as well. I know you're looking forward to the boot camps, and we'll also get that Zumba on Zoom going again as well. We'll have to talk to them about that.
No, I'm okay. But Todd, it's not in the script, but I do want to mention it just real quick because we are in the month of August. Scholarships. I am a big advocate for scholarships, not only because I was the recipient myself, but it's a great way for students, obviously, who need tuition assistance to see if they can be awarded one scholarship, if not two. You never know. Now, this is open for both domestic and international students. So be sure to apply for the HCC Foundation scholarships application. The deadline is the end of this month, which is August 31st. If you are interested in applying, head over to hccsfoundation.org/scholarships for more information.
Yeah, so that about wraps up the show for today. Peter Frampton, I don't know what's wrong with him today. Someday the dogs just are a little rambunctious. Today's one of those days needing attention. Maybe he needs to go outside, you know what I mean? So we might have to do that after the show.
We were wondering who let the dogs out earlier. So now
well, there was some noise outside the door, and of course, when that happens, the dog alarms go off, and that's what happened. They were laying in their charges, and then all of a sudden, bang, they're ready to go. So so that's what happened there. But you can see he got a new haircut, so he wanted to show everybody that as well.
Oh, well, Peter Frampton looks fabulous.
He always looks fabulous, That about wraps up the show for today, Brittany. We've got some guests on the show, not in the script, but I'm working on a special guest on the show. I can't say who it is because they have not confirmed yet, but we may have an extra guest tomorrow. It's on a serious subject, but a more timely subject. So more on that tomorrow. But we also have Fidel White, the program coordinator of the HVAC program and of the Architectural Design and Construction Center of Excellence. Try saying that 10 times fast. He'll be joining us to discuss the countless career opportunities in climate control. So that'll be interesting.
That'll be interesting. Shout out to all of our HVAC graduates because summer in Texas is just ridiculous. So we appreciate all you out there who work tirelessly to make sure that we are all receiving air conditioning during this season.
But you know what that means? It means job security. There's no better place to get a job in HVAC than Houston, Texas, because we literally need our air conditioners year round.
That's actually true. Yeah, not even in our winter, but But we also will be joined by Dr. Jimmy Adams, who's our resident poet, to gift us with another tidbit from his unending supply of poetry.
That's right. All that and more tomorrow on Up to the Minute. Thank you for being here today. I'm Todd Duplantis. He's Peter Frampton. He might be with us tomorrow. Brittany, you going to be here tomorrow?
I will try to be here tomorrow. If not, you'll be joined by our very own Frank Cooper. He is the man, the legend. And once again, everyone, thank you for joining us on Up to the Minute. Be sure to like us on all of our social media. Don't forget about YouTube and share this podcast so that we can grow our audience. And we'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m.